How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Back in the Box Disc Golf. My name is Cole. It's been a while since my last video. I apologize. I have had a lot going on, work-wise, life-wise, and I am excited to bring you an end of season in the bag. There have been some changes and some pretty significant ones, so let's get into it. So I have gone on record for a long time saying that you should stick with the putter you have, and that's the best way to be good at putting. Well, I changed putters. I went from the Discmania Link, which had served me well for approximately a year and a half, and I am now putting the Axiom Proxy. And I gave these a try. I bought one just to see what it was about. I threw it a little bit, tried putting with it, and what I really noticed about it is outside the circle, I can shape a lot more shots than with the Link. So from about 45, 50, I can do a lot more anhyzer putts. It's just a straighter disc the harder you throw it. And in the circle, it flies basically like the Link. So I feel like it is a good reason that I switched. I have two here in the bag. This one is Electron Firm. I really love the Electron Firm plastic, and you'll see more of that here in a second. And this other one is Cosmic Electron Firm. It feels identical. They're both tremendous discs. This one's 172, this one's 174. I can't tell the difference. This one doesn't feel heavier to me, but I am really happy with the Proxy, and I feel like my putting is the best it's ever been. So that's really cool. Next are my throwing putters, and same mold as last time. So I have the Axiom Envy here, and this one is old. I got this from a buddy of mine, Aaron. This is super beat in. It's a little bit puddle topped. It's very understable now, which is a really useful tool. I can throw this hard on hyzer and it'll flip up and ride to the right, which in the woods near me is super helpful. I also have another Cosmic Electron Firm Envy here with a Captain Claus stamp. That's super fun. It's from OTB Discs. Maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago is when I bought it. This one is more overstable just because it's newer, but it does have some warping from a tree hit or two. That doesn't bother me all that much. I still throw it with 100% confidence. And then I am about to add a new Cosmic Electron Firm in my bag, just because I need a little bit more stability, and I love the feel of the Electron, especially when it's wet and when it's cold. So if you ask me what disc I throw the most, the Envy is probably number one on that list. For my overstable approach slot, I'm still with the Crystal Flex Zone. This one is a Get Freaky. The pink one I had in the bag last time has just beaten into too straight, and it feels like it is overlap with one of my Envies. So here's a fresh one. I've had this in the bag maybe a month, 3 weeks, and it has that nice overstability. Anywhere from like 200 and in, I can throw it hard and it'll be overstable, and I can still shape some flex lines with it, so I can sort of have this chop angle. It'll go to the left on my forehand, land flat, and come back. So that's a super helpful disc. I've saved a lot of strokes with the Zone. So one addition to the bag as a utility slot is something that is a faster Zone. When I get to about 200, 225, I feel like if I throw it hard enough to reach, the Zone will go straight. So I added the MVP Deflector in the bag. And this is very flat, very overstable. It's very similar to the Justice from Dynamic Discs. The flight numbers are a little bit different. I think the Justice has a glide of 1. This is 3.5, but they fly similarly to me and to the people I know that throw Justice. And this, I can throw it as hard as I want, low or high, and it'll hyzer out. Very overstable, super trusty disc. I'm so glad this is in the bag. All right, for my mid-ranges, I really only have one mold other than the Deflector that I have in the bag. So the mold is the Infinite Discs Chariot, and I bag the Color Glow variety. So this Chariot is a Run 2 Chariot, which is a couple years old now. This one's 180 grams. It is really flat, really low profile, and if I throw it hard, it'll go dead straight, maybe with a little fade on this one. And this is, again, the Run 2 Color Glow Chariot. This is a newer run Color Glow Chariot from summer of 2021, fall 2021. This one is a little bit higher profile. It's still pretty flat though. And what I really like about this one is it's a little bit straighter. So I can throw it hard and low just like this. And this one will turn a little bit and land flat. So that's a really useful tool to have. In the past, I've had something like an M4 in the bag, and I just love having one mold to do 2 different slots. So that's why I have this Chariot in the bag. All right, one mold that was actually out of my bag for a second because I was afraid that I couldn't get them if I lost them. They're back now. It's the Discmania FD. Can't go away from these. I tried the Axiom Crave for a little bit, but I just missed these. So this is my D-line FD 167, very understable, but what I can get out of it is nose down, full turnover from hyzer, and then land flat, or if I throw it a little bit nose up on purpose or on accident, I can get it to do a stall hyzer where it flips up, rides, and fades, and that's really useful for the woods. This is a great woods disc. The next FD I have in the bag is this really old penned swirly S-line, and this one's 175. I got this from somebody on the internet in a trade, and it's a wonderful disc. I can throw it hard, it'll go to the right and land flat, or if I have it on hyzer, it'll do a very forward pushing hyzer, meaning it'll fade farther away instead of fading to the side, which is really nice. And the last of my FDs is this pink Fairbanks Open stamped 2018-ish run FD, Star Plastic S-Line. This one has the most fade. I can throw it flat and it'll go straight and then fade a little bit, so that's a really useful disc to have, a little more torque resistant than the other two. And one disc that I can't live without is this first run 3-tool FD2. This has been in the bag for a while. It is the perfect stable fairway driver in my opinion. Backhand, it is a little bit overstable for me. If I throw it nose up, it'll fade out quite a bit. If I keep the nose down, it'll go straight for a while and then have a nice dependable fade. Forehand, this is a very neutral disc, which I really appreciate. I know that if I throw this and it turns way over to the left on a forehand shot, I know I did something wrong. Or if I throw it and it hyzers out the whole way, I know I threw it nose up. So this is a really great sort of reset button disc. I know exactly what it should do. And so if I don't do that, that's on me. So now to my 9-speed fairway drivers. This is my trusty iBlend Sphinx from Infinite Discs. This is 172 grams, massive pop top. And it is just great. It's very understable at this point. It's very beat in, as you can see. I've thrown this all the time. So this, if I throw it, it's sort of like a farther D-line FD right now for me. I can throw it on hyzer hard, it'll go all the way over. If I want to throw it a little bit straighter, it'll do the stall hyzer thing too, which is really helpful. If I'm feeling like my form is bad, I go to this nearly exclusively and I can get my form back by the end of the round, which is great because I know that this will tell me what I'm doing wrong. So that's super helpful, and I throw this more than about any other driver in my bag. And this second Sphinx is a Metal Flake C blend. This one is actually pretty stable. It'll get some turn on forehand if I throw it flat and hard, but this goes straight and then fades a little bit. It's sort of like a farther, faster S-Line FD, that pink one. So that's really handy to have. It's a little bit more wind safe than the iBlend. So this will do the full flight in a headwind, where that iBlend would go, I don't know, practically to the East Coast from where I am in Washington. So my other fairway driver that I have had in and out of the bag for whatever reason. I had the Convict in the bag last time. That didn't actually last very long. So I went back to this. This is my 2020 Sexton Firebird. This is the first one I got on the first drop in 2020, so I've had this almost 2 years. I know what this is gonna do overhand, forehand, backhand, and wind. It is a very nice disc. It's slightly domier than other runs I have. Like I have a 2019 that's super flat, but this is honestly pretty neutral compared to the 2021 that I have. It's a little bit domier, but I love this 2020 and I'm gonna throw it until it gets lost. Now, this next disc is sort of auditioning for my bag right now. I've had it in the bag a couple weeks. It's really mainly for wind or if I need something fast and overstable. This is the Lone Howl 2 S-Line PD from Discmania. So this disc is basically faster, it's a 10 speed, and it is more overstable than the Firebird, but it goes a little bit farther. So it's sort of in that between 9 speed and distance driver, and I have a Wraith in that slot, but that can sort of be S-curvy for me. So this is a much more direct flight where it'll go straight and fade a lot, which is very handy. So I think this will keep in the bag, but we'll see next time. All right, this is still in the bag. This is my Star Wraith. This one's getting pretty S-curvy. It's beat in a little bit. If it gets too understable, I can throw in a new one. I have a Halo that I can throw in. This is a really nice disc though. It'll do flip up forehand hyzer flips, or if I keep the nose down on my backhand, it can do a little bit of turn with some nice fade at the end. So this is a great disc. I don't throw it very often per round, but it gets thrown every round. The next mold was in my bag and will continue to be in my bag. It's the Infinite Discs Pharaoh. So this one I've had in the bag for a while. This one's really beat in. It is a Glow Metal Flake C blend, and it's very flat. And I think the X out is that it's a little bit puddled right here. Hard to see on the camera, maybe right there. It's a very flat Pharaoh, so it is good for forehand. I can do forehand, flip up, run to the left and fade, or if I throw it a little bit nose up on purpose, I can get that stall hyzer kind of thing that I was talking about with the FD and the Sphinx for my backhand. So it is a really useful disc, and I throw this more than any other distance driver forehand. And this next Pharaoh is an I-blend Pharaoh with a lot of dome. It feels great for backhand. You can hit it hard and it'll go straight and then fade quite a bit. And it has lots of glide because of this dome. I only use this in wide open though, just because a lot of my courses are wooded and I lean on slower discs. But when this does get thrown, it's really good. Straight, fade. I can put it on other angles. It'll hit those angles. It's really nice. And the last disc is my overstable high-speed driver. And this is a slot that I've been auditioning for a while. I had a stable Pharaoh in there at one point. They're really hard to find, so I'm worried that if I lose my Huck stamped one from the last in the bag, I won't be able to find another one. So I have the Latitude 64 Rive. This is their Royal line, which is the new and improved plastic. It does feel really good. There's no flashing at all. The grip on this is really nice, and it looks great. This is dependently overstable. So I can throw this on forehand mainly, and it'll go straight for maybe 250, 275, and then do this huge sweeping fade that is really consistent, and this disc goes really far. Okay, that is it for my in the bag. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions on any of the molds that I'm throwing, go ahead and drop a comment and I can start a discussion with you. I love talking discs. If you want to talk discs, hit me up on Instagram at backofthebox_DG and we can chat. Okay, that is it for my in the bag. Really appreciate you guys watching. Glad to get a video out. Hopefully you had a great 2021 season, and hopefully where you're at you can still play a little disc golf. I know for me, it's going to be hit or miss when the snow starts here in a few weeks. Hopefully a little longer than that, but I'll play as much as I can. All right, be good to each other, play lots of disc golf, and have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.